Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So today I'm talking about the big news for the New England Patriots yesterday, the signing of quarterback Cam Newton. I'm going to talk about the implications for the rest of the quarterbacks on the team, the rest of the playmaking staff, maybe some fantasy implications, and just how I think the season's going to go now for the Patriots. So let's jump right into it. So the Patriots agreed to a deal with Cam on just it's a 1 year deal. It's heavily there's a lot of incentives, heavily incentive laden deal, and I'm assuming I don't think the details have come out yet, and if they have, I haven't seen them yet. But I'm assuming that the details for that are basically just late season. I would imagine they are late season incentives because for like wins, maybe final year stats, playoff run, potentially something like along those lines. Because unless they free up some money, the Patriots don't have the money to pay Cam throughout the season for incentives that he might reach early on or mid-season. Because basically with with his veteran minimum, like his base salary is the vet min, which is $750,000, I believe. Even with that, that's like half the money the Patriots have left over. In general, I think they had like maybe 1.5 million left in cap space. So these incentives have got to be. I think someone said they're worth up to $8 million. So I'd assume it's win a playoff game, win a certain amount of games in the regular season, throw a certain amount of touchdowns, play a certain amount of games. Those are probably it. So that's great. I'm ecstatic right now. Like, I don't really know what to say. I made other videos where I said I don't think Jarrett Stidham's ready, and I really didn't want Brian Hoyer to be the starting quarterback at any point during the season. And now I think that's absolutely out of the question. It has to be. I don't care how much Brian Hoyer knows the Patriots offense because he's a veteran on this team. And I know this isn't how the Patriots run. They value knowing the playbook and being smart over talent, like almost 10 times out of 10. But this is like that one time out of 10 where Cam Newton's talent just outweighs whatever Brian Hoyer knows with the playbook. Even if Cam can't really figure it out, if I'm Bill Belichick, I'm still throwing him out there. You have to. It's just too much. The discrepancy between the two quarterbacks is too much. And then that leaves Jarrett Stidham. I still think there's a possibility, I think it's very small, like a 2% chance, that Stidham could still beat Cam out for the starting job. Obviously, that would probably result in Cam getting cut because there's no point in keeping him around if he's just going to sit on the bench behind a guy that hasn't started an NFL game yet. He's a former MVP, so it just makes no sense. He's gone to a Super Bowl. So I think Cam's the guy this year. I think Bill realized, I know I saw something come out where it has nothing to do with Stidham's progression and all of that. They still think he's in the right place. It has nothing to do with like his lack of ability or anything, his readiness. But I don't want to say that's like a lie and they're sugarcoating it, but I never thought he was ready, and I think they're realizing that too. I also think Cam was always on Bill's radar. He was just waiting for the value to go down. He was waiting for Cam to reach this certain point. And so, with that, I just think Jarrett Stidham, he can be the guy next year because Cam's 31 years old, but his body, the way he's gotten beat up over the years in the NFL as a quarterback for the Panthers, his body is like he's realistically probably Tom Brady's age, as like his mid 40s, his body wise. He's so beat up, but he's young. He's realistically still like pretty young. Like he should be in his prime, 31 years old. So there's that. I think Stidham's the guy next year. There's probably no way, even if he does really well, I don't think Cam's sign here long term. He's probably going to want, high $20 million for a certain amount of years until he's like 35 or 36 years old. And I don't see Bill taking the risk on like that on a guy when, you still have Stidham. Now he can definitely learn. I think this offseason was going to be really tough. It was leading up to a really tough season for Jarrett Stidham to be the quarterback because it was just all over the place because of coronavirus. The training camps are all mixed up. There's probably going to be no preseason. There could be, but there probably won't be. For just it's the preseason. Why risk it? And that's even then because it's so soon almost. It's a little over a month from now. There's no point. So he was in the offense last year. He was on the team. He was learning the playbook last year, but trying to learn as fast as he needed to do. There's no workouts. There's nothing like that. It just wasn't going to lead up to a really good season. Cam's been working out. I mean, they've been working out the same amount, but Cam is an experienced starting quarterback in the NFL. So that's really the difference. So I think it's a great opportunity for all three quarterbacks as long as they keep them, because I think Cam's gonna be the starter. He's gonna play out the year. He's probably gonna have a good year. We'll probably make the playoffs. I think our lowest point. I think I said our lowest point with Stidham could be 6-10. I think Cam, our lowest point, let's say maybe 8-8, 9-7. I think that's worst case scenario. Best case, I think they can win 11, 12 games. So there's that. And that's even, I'm saying that even if Cam is like half or like 60% of what he used to be. So I think that's best case scenario for him. Stidham is going to sit there and he's going to learn. And I think they should keep Brian Hoyer on the bench next to Stidham so he can teach him. He can be a voice in his ear, just sitting there next to him while they're both analyzing what Cam is doing on the field, what's going on the field, what's going on around them. I think this is the perfect opportunity for that. Like that's perfect case scenario to me for how the season should go. So there's all that. That's what it is with the quarterbacks. I think it's going to be great. With the rest of the team, I think this just elevates everyone because yes, Cam Newton is injury prone. He's banged up. He's probably not the runner that he used to be. He looks, from the videos I've seen, he looks like he's in some of the best shape of his life, but it's also a mind game kind of thing where he's in a run and he's so big. He's like the size of he's bigger than a linebacker. He's like 6'5", like 250 or 260 or whatever he is. When he runs, it's not like a running back that's like 5'11" or maybe a couple inches taller or even shorter where they're like low to the ground and all that. He's running upright. So that's why he's getting clocked so much. Like he gets hit so hard in the head and everything because he runs, and that's not his fault. He's just such a big guy. That's just how a lot of people that size run. It's very hard to get low to the ground when you're that big. So I think he's not going to be the runner that he used to be, but he's still a runner in a sense. So it's going to help. It's definitely going to help Sony Michel. I said I'm not a big fan of Sony Michel. I just haven't seen what I like for a first-round pick and some of the guys that we passed up on in the draft that went around him. But I've already talked about that. James Devlin is gone, so that's a blocker that's gone for him, which is tough. Sony really needed James Devlin there. But sorry about that. Shook everything. The tight ends can block, but they're also rookies, so it's tough. I know Dalton Keene is he's one of the best blocking tight ends in the draft. I'm pretty sure they said, so that helps there. But having a mobile quarterback has always been good for a running back behind him. Always. It's pretty much never been. There's never been like a bad scenario where the running back doesn't benefit from a mobile quarterback in front of him. So that definitely helps. It should help Sony. It makes even less of an excuse for him to, for a poor performance, for him to perform poorly. So there's that. I think this upgrades Julian Edelman. Talking fantasy-wise, he probably goes from what was a 6th-round pick probably to up in the 4th round. That's great. N'Keal Harry, I think so. Edelman, I don't want to move on from Edelman too quickly, but Edelman's going to be Edelman either way. He was going to get his even with Jarrett Stidham or Brian Hoyer. Obviously, the quarterback play, elevates him a little bit, but it's just, I think the guy that it benefits the most is N'Keal Harry in the receiving corps, because if you followed football when Cam, around the league and with the Panthers specifically, if you ever saw what was going on down there, especially in his MVP year, when Cam had those big receivers, Calvin Benjamin, Devin Funchess, Greg Olsen, even as a tight end, all those guys are like 6'4", 6'5", like mid 200s. So Cam loves those red zone target, those big receivers that can catch the ball. He throws it up to them high up, because Cam has been known to overthrow a little bit, but he has those big receivers that can get up, get the ball, get down, just move the chains, get those red zone targets, touchdowns, and N'Keal Harry is that guy. So I think out of everyone on the team, obviously outside of Cam Newton actually being on a team, benefiting from actually being on a football team, I think N'Keal Harry benefits the most out of everyone. So I'm expecting some big things out of N'Keal Harry this year if Cam Newton is the quarterback, especially for the entire season. He's probably fantasy draftable now. I'd say that was very questionable beforehand, but now that's up there. Oh, and speaking of fantasy for Cam, let's say he starts the whole year. I wouldn't say he's draftable. I wouldn't say right away he's eligible to be on let's say a 12-team league, on a starting quarterback on a 12-team league in fantasy football. But he can get there. I think it would be nice to have him hang around on your team, keep an eye on him. But I wouldn't draft him. I don't think he's draftable just yet. He's probably just outside of being draftable for a 12-team league. There's definitely other quarterbacks that should go before him. So yeah. So that's pretty much it for the Patriots with that. I kind of let it out a lot last night. A lot of it last night when I found out. I was driving. My friends started texting me, calling me. I saw the notifications on my phone popping up. I didn't want to look and everything because I'm driving, but I was freaking out. So I pretty much let it all out. We got the Bill Belichick shirt. So, and Bill we trust at the end of the day. I let out my excitement a lot last night. So I still am excited, but I'm not it's not as visible as it was last night. So the other news for the Patriots, unfortunately, was it seemed very weird that this came out, but the penalties for the whole television crew for the Patriots recording that Bengals-Browns game the week before the Patriots were playing the Bengals. The penalties came down. They got fined $1.1 million. They lost their third-round pick this year, and their crew is not allowed to shoot games during the 2020 season. So, it sucks. The $1 million is whatever. That is what it is pretty much. The TV crews is... I don't think they're really going to care about that and the money. The third-round pick is another thing, too. I mean, it is a third-round pick. You hate to lose picks, but the Patriots seem to have 3 or 4 third-round comp picks. Comp picks every year, it seems like. They pretty much just lost their pick that they get for losing Tom Brady to the Buccaneers. So I don't think they're gonna lose their minds or lose any sleep over that. Obviously, people are gonna say they're cheaters and all that, but you know what? I think it was just a whole misunderstanding, because I don't think Bill Belichick needs to cheat or gain an upper hand to beat the 2019-2020 Cincinnati Bengals. Let's be real. Pretty much, he doesn't need that to really beat the Bengals in general, ever. But especially last year's Bengals team, even with the way the Patriots were average last year, they didn't need that to beat the Bengals. Let's be real. The Bengals are awful. So, yeah, that's just the league and the Patriots kind of just going at it again pretty much. So it was weird that came out along with the Cam Newton news. I think there was a purpose to that. There always is, pretty much. So there's that. And yeah, I don't know. I just I had a feeling. I had a feeling this whole offseason. You know, I had a feeling Cam was going to be here. I didn't think that Brian Hoyer and Jarrett Stidham were the only two quarterbacks, you know, that were going to be on the team for the season. It just didn't make any sense whatsoever. So yeah, I don't know if the Super Bowl's back on. I saw Dave Portnoy, El Prez, Super Bowl's back on. I don't know about all that. I think it's realistic. I think it can happen. I think it's way more likely than it was before. But I think playoffs are pretty much, they're right there in our grasp, and the division's right there in our hands. Again, they're right in there in the Patriots' hands all over again. So I know a lot of people who are really excited about this. So yeah. Welcome to the New England Patriots, Cam Newton. Hopefully you have a really good year. And thank you everyone for watching. I want to thank everyone for the support again. I can't thank you guys enough. The support that I've received on these videos is it's more than I ever expected. So I'm happy about that. I really appreciate it. The first video got 200 something views. My Black Lives Matter, my most important video got pretty close to that. There was 150, 160 views, something around there. So the rest of them are, they've gotten a decent amount of views too. Nothing crazy, but I'm just so grateful. Thank you all. I know people from every state around the country that have been watching these videos, and I really appreciate it. And I'm going to try to come out with other news. The NBA's coming back soon. The MLB's coming back soon. So we're going to have some baseball and basketball, hopefully some hockey to talk about too. We're getting there. We're almost in July, which I know it's really crazy with the way this year's gone. The fact that we're almost in July, it seems unbelievable at this point. But we're almost there. Football's almost back. Sports are almost back. Hopefully we can get back to normal as soon as possible. So thank you all for watching. I appreciate it, and I will see you next time.